Hey everyone, it's PickleR1ck here, just doing another weekly analysis, doing another recap of the alpha calls during the week. We did miss last week just because I was sick with COVID, so apologize for that, but we're all good now. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and just jump right in. Projects we've been watching and calling in Llamaverse is Sun Origin, storytelling NFT involved with music, lots of hype, lots of strong communities jumping in on this. We've been kind of calling it for a while now since it minted for free. It did dip to 0.04, but has since touched almost 0.13. This is a project that's had a lot of swing trade opportunities. We've seen it go up and go back down to 0.04, 0.05 levels. Definitely a project to keep your eye on. They've been sneaking some announcements about reveal and other things, and the community is getting pretty hyped. So definitely a project to keep your eye on for reveal, potential snipes, lots of strong communities involved. So could see some diamond holders on this. Only 339 listings out of a 10K supply. Very strong signals here. This could definitely pump post reveal with some announcements. Some of the other projects that we've been seeing in our calls, Atama. We saw that around 1 ETH, very small supply, 333 supply, good ownership level. Did go to around 2 ETH, not very many listings. People, kind of going for ones that they like versus floor. This is definitely one that you can put some WETH offers for. They have their female drop coming soon. It will be an airdrop for holders. So a lot of our callers feel that this one still has some room to pump a little bit more. So definitely one to throw some WETH offers, look for some dips, potentially make profits leading up to the airdrop, or if you want to stay in the community and flip the female airdrop, that could work as well. Another project that we had that minted this week, a free mint, was Azra Games. This was one that the team already has a lot of Web 2 experience and credentials. They were the team behind one of the Star Wars games. They're, I believe they're VC funded. But they have a lot of credibility. Strong communities are in this one as well. We saw it quickly pump from a free mint all the way to around 0.45. This was one of those where you kind of just followed the momentum. I happened to get out pre-reveal at 0.45. The project sold out, started to dip, and it instantly revealed post sellout. I used Alpha Sharks to actually snipe a top 100 rarity for 0.45, which is where I got out. There was no royalties on X2, Y2, so that's another thing to keep an eye on with these projects. So I sold for 0.45, got my 0.45, and basically bought back in on a top 100 rarity using Alpha Sharks. I sniped it and then immediately flipped it at around zero point 0.7 Ethereum. So made the initial 0.45 profit, and then on top of that made another, like 0.25 profit. So these are the type of quick profits that can be made on sniping reveals. We saw listings stay pretty low. The floor has been circulating, has been kind of going back and forth between 0.2 to 0.4. It's currently dipped back down to 0.24, but this is, this is a project that on any announcement we could easily see another pump. 5,555 supply, only 800 listed. That's not bad. It seems like on any announcement though that this is priced for a pump. So definitely a project to keep an eye on. See if there's any rares that get listed around the floor for you to snipe. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the other calls from the week. We had Cloud Machine is another one that it was about a zero point 0.1 mint. One of the important things here is to check out like the analysis from the alpha callers. It tells you about the artists involved, the team, reasons for holding. We're not trying to do the trades for you, but we're just trying to help you learn how to trade. What are some factors in holding long term versus quick flips and stuff like that. So definitely something to make sure that you're looking at when you see the calls. Don't just look at the name of the call and just immediately go to OpenSea and snipe the first one that you see. It's very important that you read everything and understand like why this is a buy now. Maybe it's not a buy now, maybe it's a buy on a dip. And so that's a lot of the problems that we see in this space is a call isn't necessarily a call to buy now. It could be a call to watch for some dips. But another project that we had over the past week, Exoliance, this was one where the artist was teasing another collection coming out. This was a free mint. They were teasing another free mint that about 70% of the holders would get whitelist for, and the remaining 30% of supply would be released in a public sale. We saw this go from around 0.13 is where we called it in Discord, pumped all the way to a floor of about 0.8, and was kind of just going between 0.3, 0.2 to zero point 0.8 before seeing that mint. People were kind of holding for the mint, and then we saw that dip afterwards. The stamp collection ended up going to about zero point 0.2 Ethereum. So if you timed this right, you could have probably exited around zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.6 on Exoliance and also sold the stamps for another zero point 0.2. We were in sort of like an AI meta for a week, small supply projects, but there's not really much to these, so make sure you're not buying in on these like at too high of a price. If you see any of these pumping on secondary, these are really just degen plays. You ideally want to get in like below like 0.03. Otherwise, you're just risking losing all the money on a project that's just trying to see what they can make off of a random free mint degen play. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Like I said, make sure that you're looking at the alpha calls that we're making and understanding what the logic is behind these calls. These aren't calls to just buy. We're not trying to trade for you. We're trying to help you become a better trader.